Bonjour. So, French is one of the most interesting languages that we have in the world, and learning a new language is a very big necessity. It's a very big necessity in the world. To learn more languages means to open more doors and then to open more boundaries for yourself, and also to open more um, ways of thinking and culture. Okay, so French is a very interesting language, and today I wanted to talk about something, um, and that is the verb to be. The verb to be. The verb être, to be. In Luganda, they say okubeera. The verb to be, okubeera. Okubeera, to be, the start of everything. So the verb to be is one of the most important verbs for a beginner and for everyone who wants to learn a language, to be, because that's the beginning. Okay, to be. So now from this verb, you find that there are very, very many sentences that can be constructed. There are very, very many expressions that you can make out of this verb because it's one of the most important ones. Okay, the verb être, to be. So we're going to talk about what we call conjugation. In French, we have what we call conjugation, that we call conjugaison. La conjugaison. So when you're doing conjugation, we use what we call the personal pronouns. The personal pronouns. For example, the first one is je, which means I. I. In Uganda they say nze. Je, I, and then after that we have tu, you, tu, you, gwe in Uganda. And then afterwards we have il. Il means he. And then elle means she. And then on means one. Like as you can see, someone, like one goes there, one. So it is kind of, on is kind of neutral. It has no gender. But then il and elle, they have a gender. Il means he, and then elle means she. So in French, we have gender. Gender is really important in French, okay? It's really, really important, as we shall see in our subsequent classes. So after that, we call these, before that, we call these are singular. These ones are singular. These personal pronouns are singular. I, you, and then il and elle, and on. And then afterwards, after that, we have first person plural. Now this is first person singular. This is second person singular, and then these il, elle, and on, third person singular. But then after that we have the plural, that is nous. Nous. Nous means we. Fait. In Luganda they say fait. Nous. Nous means we. And then vous means you. Moi. Moi. Okay, and then il and elle means they. However, il is for masculine, that is the males, okay, the males, and then elle is for feminine, that is for the females, okay. So it means they. So it depends on how you use it. If you're talking about they referring to, for example, women, you use elle, okay. But then if you use il, if you're referring to, for example, men, for example, they are going, and you're talking about men, so that is il. We use il in that case. So now we are going to use these personal pronouns to conjugate the verb être, to be. Alors, commençons par le commencement. Okay? Now, je suis. Je suis. Je suis. I am. I am. Je suis. I am. And then, tu es. Tu es. Tu es. Some people say tu es, and then some people say tu es. But tu es. And then you find that in when you go to France, you see that some people say just a te. But in a standard way, we say tu es, tu es, tu es, which means you are. And then after that, we have il, elle, on. So, il est, il est, il est, il est, il est with a T. With a T, which means he or she or one is. Then that is it for the first person singular. Then after that we have the plural. So we start with the first person plural, which is nous. Nous. We say it means in Luganda we say fait. Fait. Nous. Alors we say nous sommes. Nous sommes, which means we are. And then vous êtes. Vous êtes. You are. So vous êtes is used when you're talking about very many people. When you're talking about very, very many people, a group of people, or more than one person, two and more. So vous êtes. But vous êtes can also be used when you're talking to somebody that you respect. For example, you are smart and you're talking, for example, to somebody you respect. For example, the teacher. You use vous instead of using tu. So vous is used for, can be used for respect. When you're talking, for example, when you're talking to one person and that one person is somebody respectable, you use vous. You don't use tu. Okay, there is that element of respect in there. And then after that, we have il, elle, sont, which means they are. Okay, so that is the conjugation of the verb être, the most important verb in French. It is the first verb. It is the very first verb that we learn to conjugate, because from this verb we can come up with very, very many sentences already if you learn how to use it or how to conjugate it. Okay, so now from there, let us try to form some sentences using the verb être. For example, for the first case, je suis, for example, je suis malade. In Luganda, they say mulwadde. That is why it sounds like Luganda, malade, mulwadde. Je suis malade. I am sick. I am sick. Okay. Now you find that now, for example, the next one, the second person singular, tu es content, content, content. Content means happy. You are happy. So now this verb can be used in very many cases. You find it everywhere in French. So it is the starting verb and it is very important. And already, if you learn how to conjugate this verb, you can already construct sentences by using a dictionary, by finding new words that you can use to construct these sentences using the verb être. So it is as simple as that. French is very simple. It's not as hard as you hear it being spoken. So it's not that hard. It is learnable and it is very important. You can use it to communicate. The world is becoming a global village, so we need these languages, and we need them because they will help us open our doors to different cultures, to learning about other cultures, and also to understand that the world is very diverse and it's a global village. So I encourage everyone to follow me and subscribe. This is our first lesson, but we shall be having more and more interesting lessons about French. Okay, merci beaucoup. Don't forget to subscribe and to like. Thank you.